This program is sponsored by
1 hour of total relaxation. Call today, Zen Float Center.
It's your business. We can help you sell it. WinoView.
Okay, so I can't toggle back and forth.
Sorry, I don't know how.
When Valerie told me that I had to follow these guys, I knew I was in trouble. It makes my job easier every day to come to work knowing I have kids like this to work for. I work for these kids, so please give another round of applause. Okay. Can everyone hear me okay? Because I want to move around a little bit. So when Valerie asked me to do a State of the Schools update, I wanted to point out the great things that are happening in Streetsboro. There are a lot of great things that are happening in Streetsboro. Last year I began my presentation with, I said it was a little cliche to say it's a great time to be a rocket, but it really is a great time to be a rocket. And I think evidence presented itself today. We have a great staff, we have great kids. I can't say enough about, these kids are not just great performers, they're great kids, they're great students. This is what Streetsboro is all about. This is what you're supporting when you vote for our levies. This is Streetsboro. We have a very innovative staff. Mr. Boardwine is just one example of many great teachers we have in our district. We have an outstanding community support. Many of the folks in this room today are here to watch. They support our levies. They go out there and they hit the streets to get people to vote yes on all of our issues. Many of you vote yes. And we have now, I can honestly say now, and I'm excited to say, we have world-class facilities. Again, thank you to all of you. So I divided my presentation into 3 points. Valerie told me I only had 20 minutes. I did about 100 slides, so I'll try to go through those quickly. I won't go as long as you did, Mayor.
Gary told me yesterday in the office he'd end before I got the hook out.
And I know if you guys start throwing things at me, it's time to stop. So I divided into 3 updates because I think all 3 are important to tell the picture of Streetsboro, tell the story of Streetsboro. Before I begin, I did want to point out that I'm very proud of my mom and dad, and they actually came today to watch me speak. They've never heard me speak before, so mom and dad, everyone's say hi, mom and dad. I give a lot of credit to who I am to those 2 people sitting there, so thanks, mom and dad. So let's begin with our fiscal update. I'm excited to say that we have very strong community support. We've passed since 2010 all of our issues that we put before the community. Most recently, we passed a dual purpose levy, an operating levy, and a permanent improvement levy. We passed that by 63% of the vote. That is almost unheard of in school issues today, so thank you to all of you. But I believe that that's an important message the community is sending us. I believe that one of the reasons that they voted yes to that renewal is that we have been very fiscally responsible. So I want to outline some of the positives about our budget and, frankly, some of the challenges that we're looking at, which will involve all of you today. So I know you can't read this, but this is a typical 5-year forecast. We're the only entity in Ohio that's required to do a 5-year forecast when we only know 2 years at a time what the state's going to fund us at. You heard the gentleman from the governor's office today talk about the new budget. The new budget did come out. Well, that budget won't be finalized until the governor puts it out, then the House has to work on it, then the Senate has to work on it, then they have to have an ad hoc committee that works on it. And schools are funded third behind prisons and highways. So when it all shakes out, I always believe the schools are on the losing end. In Streetsboro, what did the original budget proposal know that it's going to change a lot, but right now I would say we're flat, but we're looking right now to receive about $200,000 more in additional funding. But I'm going to drill down to what that funding looks like in a minute. But in Ohio, we're heavily reliant on property tax to fund our schools. And to me, that's criminal. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So when you look at our 5-year forecast, and you can download that from the website, when you look at the 5-year forecast, go to line 6.011, and that shows our revenue versus our expenditures. And if you were here last year, you heard me talk about the health of the district is based on this line. And when you see red, like you see here, that means we're beginning to spend more than we're taking in. In other words, our expenditures are exceeding revenue. With this current 5-year forecast, in the fiscal year of 2018, which is next year, we are predicting the possibility of, and that's been modified somewhat, so the forecast has not been modified yet. We're going to spend about $1 million than we take in. So that's a concern. So we're going to have to start making some decisions. And that's going to leave our cash balance at the end of fiscal year 2018 right around $3.5 million, which is pretty healthy. But again, look at that line where we're exceeding revenue, is exceeding expenditures, it's exceeding revenue. So the other important line then to look at on the forecast is line 11.02. That's the renewals of the upcoming levies. So we just passed the dual purpose levy in November. About every 2 years for the next several years, we're going to have a renewal on the ballot. So this line assumes the renewal of those issues. So we put these issues on for your renewal if the board decides to do that. If we renew the levies that are coming up, you can see we are a bit healthier and we can actually stretch our budget out to about 2020 when we go into deficit spending, and our cash balance depletes by about 2020 to about $114,000 deficit. Now remember though, we don't know what the 2-year budget, we can only get 2-year budgets with the state, so that's beyond that 2-year budget. That's right at the end of the 2-year budget, so we don't know what will happen. So the only thing we do know are the property taxes that you folks vote on that bring that revenue stream into the district. So why did I put all this up here? I'm going to drill down to that in a second. I want to show you what it looks like as far as classroom spending. So this graphic shows the source of funds across the state of Ohio. Most districts like us receive about 45% state aid. We only received 33% of our budget from the state. So that gives you an idea of where Streetsboro is versus the rest of Ohio. 33. So we rely about 55% of our income on local property taxes. Across the state, most districts enjoy only about a 39% contribution from their local property taxes. So in Streetsboro, we really need the support of our community. And this gives you an idea of how lopsided Ohio school funding is. So then let's take a look at our spending per pupil. In Streetsboro, we spend about $8,564 per pupil. At the state level, we spend about $8,840. So we are actually under the state level of spending per pupil. And we've had to do that based on our budget. But the next slide is a little more telling. And this is our classroom spending. And when comparison to comparison districts about our size, we are 99th out of 276. We spend about 68% of our money that we take in on classroom instruction. Our comparison groups spend about 66%, and the state level only spend about 67% of their budget on classroom instruction. Classroom instructions are supplies, materials, teacher salaries, support staff salaries. So in Streetsboro, we are dedicating a lot of our bottom line to classroom instruction, which I think then in turn increases student achievement. So we're going to talk about that. I threw this in here because this is important. This speaks to our fiscal responsibility. Last year, we were awarded for the 4th consecutive year with the Auditor of the State of Ohio Award with Distinction. Not very many people achieve that award. We've achieved it 4 years in a row. We just found out this morning that we will probably, more than likely, I can't say guarantee until it comes across my desk, that we will achieve this award for the 5th consecutive year. That means we are being fiscally responsible with your money. And so that's important. So hats off to our district administrative team and hats off to our treasurer's office. This is a pretty incredible feat. So I'm telling you all this to give you an idea of fiscal responsibility in Streetsboro. So what does all this mean? Well, as I said, our expenditures are beginning to exceed our revenue. We have unclear funding pictures, even though the governor's budget, which is the lame duck administration, just came out and said, Streetsboro, we'll give you a couple $100,000 more to operate on, which in a $25 million budget is nothing. So that's unclear budget picture. They're phasing out tangible personal property tax. That represents millions of dollars of a loss to Streetsboro. All tangible personal property tax revenue will be gone from Streetsboro in 2020. So that's a deduct from our bottom line. We have expiring levies about every 2 years. I talked about that. And now, as everyone in the room knows, healthcare costs continue to increase. And now with our new administration, we don't have any idea where it's going to go with the Affordable Care Act and what that's going to do to healthcare costs. I would envision it will drive it up. So all these things affect our budget in Streetsboro. So our Board of Education in our community, very frankly, we have some very tough decisions to make. We're going to have to make them soon. You know, we're going to have to, are we going to continue just to renew and try and stay just above that red line? And as you saw, even with renewing, we're going to start to hit that red line in about 2020. Or are we going to go to the Streetsboro taxpayers and say, hey, is it time to do some replacement levies? Do we maybe to put a long-term levy on that will address that financial health? These are all things that are important to you as business owners and important to our families and our kids. Those kids over there singing, and they're now back there enjoying lunch, they wouldn't have what they have without your support. So we're going to be having to make some very difficult and critical decisions in the next couple of years and decide where we're going to invest our money. So I apologize if that was a little bit of a political dig, but it's the reality of what's going on in Ohio school finance now. So I'm going to move now on to an academic update that I think is a little brighter. There's a piece of it that's a little troubling, and we'll get to that in a second. So this slide I kept in from last year because when I took over as superintendent, I was the 5th superintendent in 4 years. And we had over 80 administrative changes in 10 years. Now we're up to about 86 administrative changes in about 14 years. And the reason that's important is, if you're a business owner, you understand this. It's difficult to develop a vision when the leadership continually changes. You know, so people in the organization say, well, this guy's not going to be here very long, so I'm just going to hold steady the course and keep doing what I'm doing. I'm happy to say that we've stabilized. I'm happy to say that this Board of Education, which I have probably one of the most supportive Board of Educations anywhere. Denise, thank you for that. Denise is here. But this board has allowed me and my administrative team to go out and identify when we have positions open, to identify those rock stars from other places that want to come to us. Those teachers, those administrators that have positive evaluations that are coming and saying, hey, we want to be in Streetsboro. We want to be part of this great thing. We are becoming a destination district, and I'm very proud of that. And I think we're starting to stabilize, and this is going to lead to increased student achievement. We're beginning to build a culture of trust. When you have an organization with a lot of turnover, obviously there's not a lot of trust present because you never know who's going to be in the seat, and it takes years to develop trust, and an organization can't move forward without trust. I think we're beginning to build trust. We have a long way to go. I acknowledge that, but we're healing. And like I said, the bottom point is it's all starting to pay off. Last May, we received word from the state of Ohio that we were one of very few districts across the state of Ohio to receive the first annual Momentum Award. We were recognized as one of those districts that were taking students and moving them forward. And based on our 14-15 school report card, we were moving the majority of our students ahead 2 years in 1 year's time. We worked really hard to get to that point. Okay, so we were one of the first award winners of this Momentum Award. And that was a big deal. And it was right after I spoke last year that we were notified of this. And it was based on this report card, and you can see a lot of A's and B's, and there was one B, and in case you've never seen, I can explain that if you want. But we were very proud of this, and we've incrementally improved every year. So here's the rub. Across the state of Ohio, they've told school districts that you can no longer take paper pencil tests. You have to now go online and take all of your testing. So all testing, K-12, is online. We delayed as long as we could because what happened across the state of Ohio, the districts that went from paper pencil to online went from A's and B's to D's and F's. And then the next year after they made that transition, they got used to testing online, what do you think happened? They went back up. So look what happened to Streetsboro, and this is where we own our data. And we're not proud of this, but we own it. So we transitioned to all online testing last year, and look what happened to our test scores. We're not proud of that. But what we do say is, A, we're transparent, we know it, we're addressing it, but we also believe that the delta in this was the fact that we went from paper pencil to online. Are we using it as an excuse? Absolutely not. My administrators, when they left our opening day retreat this year, were pretty nervous because we said this is not acceptable. Our community's not going to accept this. I don't care if we had all A's and B's last year. This has to come up and it will come up. So, to talk about that, I told you that we were required to do online testing. Remember, we have the same 2,300 students. So how can you go with 2,300 students from A's and B's, the same 2,300 students to D's and F's? We believe, again, that it was that we moved to online testing. So just some quick data to support that. In 2015, we had 80 school districts across the state of Ohio that went from A's to D's and F's and value added, and these same districts went online. So then in 2016, 64 of those same districts went back up to an 80, or an A, or represented an 80% improvement. So understand what that says. 80 school districts went from an A to an F, and 64 came back up to an A or a B after they transitioned to online testing for 1 year. So I think that's an important data point. It's not an excuse, but it is a fact. There have been tons of research on this, and in fact, over 200 superintendents, myself included, we marched on the State House in October to emphasize this point about how unfair the testing is and accountability is across the state of Ohio. We need testing, we need accountability, but it needs to be more in line with what we're doing. So moving on, the good things about Streetsboro. So that's the ugly part about testing. The good things. Last year's graduating class, we had over $1 million awarded in scholarships. We had 64 students that went on to a 4-year college, 9 went on to a 2-year college, 2 planned to enlist in the military. We had 34 students that exited Maplewood Career Center, received career training, and went on to a trade in their field. That's promising. That's good news. That's what you need to hang your hat on. At Streetsboro High School, we are one of the few small high schools that offer over 100 courses to our students. That's almost unheard of for a district our size. So we try to offer a very diverse set of courses for our students to take. Not very many high schools have songwriting classes. Not very many high schools have STEM, theater. Not very many high schools have TV production and a 40-plus-year-old radio station. So we're pretty unique in Streetsboro. We have 6 AP classes. I love AP as opposed to College Credit Plus in biology, government, psychology, statistics, calculus, and literature. Because a kid that takes an AP class, it's like a college class, if they score a 4 or a 5 on the AP exam, they can take that score then and basically that translates into college credit anywhere in the United States. When you go College Credit Plus, which is also a good option, you go to leave our school to go to a local college to take classes, and most of our kids go to Kent State if you go to Tri-C, but then those credits are specific to that university, and sometimes they don't transfer out. I personally, I'm not in the guidance department, but if I were there, I would probably push kids more toward our AP offerings than the College Credit Plus, but they're both great opportunities. We have honors courses. We have several students that are leaving for College Credit Plus. And then one program that we still hold that not very many districts use, we have a transition to work program where seniors can actually attend school in the morning and half a day go out into the workforce and work. So it's called a transition to work. Something that I'm very proud of is we have a STEM program, a very robust STEM program. We actually had to turn kids away at the middle school this year. It's becoming so popular. I was very sad to say that, but we couldn't fit them into our schedule. So we turned away more than a dozen students that wanted to participate in our middle school STEM program, which focuses on robotics. We've now implemented year 4 of a Project Lead the Way engineering program at the high school. We have 4 courses that are year-long courses: Introduction to Engineering, Principles of Engineering, Digital Electronics, and Capstone Design and Development. These courses next year, after we implement for 4 years, we now can tap Easter credit, college credit. So now, beginning next year, hopefully, any student that enters as a freshman and takes all 4 classes can leave with over 12 hours of engineering credit that they can apply then towards any engineering school. That's pretty significant. This district has invested well over $100,000 in their STEM program, and you could argue significantly more than that because we dedicated a lot of space to our new STEM program. At our high school, we have a brand new 3-room, 2-story STEM lab, which I would invite you to come and look at. It's amazing. We have a CAD room, and then we have a project room that can be divided in half. We started, under the direction of Sue Truby, we started something called a SMART program. The mayor was heavily involved in this, where our STEM students are partnering with local manufacturing in Streetsboro. The engineers come into our room. Our kids go out to these companies and they learn from each other. Engineers have come to me and said, the equipment and the software that you're using in your STEM program makes ours look archaic. And these are people that are out in the industry, multiple $1 million companies. So our kids are connecting with those folks. Members of our SMART program are Delta Corporation, Sealess Technology House, Automated Packaging, Viking Forge, Permco, Step 2, and Aurora Plastics. We have partnerships with all of those folks, and we're very excited about that and happy about that. And we have actually internships that will be starting very soon too. So that's our STEM program. Quick story about our STEM program. A switch broke at our old middle school. Custodian couldn't find it online. It was going to cost several $1,000s to repair that switch. He took it over to the STEM lab. They scanned it using our 3D scanner. They did some CAD work on the CAD machine. They did a 3D. They printed it in our 3D printer. And in about an hour, our custodian walked back and reinstalled a new switch. Our kids fabricated and manufactured a new switch. That's what they're doing in our STEM program. And it's very amazing. I can't say enough about our arts, and all of our arts are great, but very specifically the things that our kids do and thrive in our theater and our songwriting are second to none. I would put thrive in our our drama department against any drama department in the United States. And when it comes to the performances, these kids are amazing. Mr. Borderline is amazing. Thrive is a unique, it's a partnership. I would also say it's kind of a hybrid community / district drama department. I've not seen one anywhere else, but what Jim Borderline and his group have done is they've created a nonprofit, and they have community members that partner with our kids, and they all work together to put on these unbelievably amazing performances. And our first one will be soon in our new 800-seat auditorium, and it with state-of-the-art lighting and sound. You guys have to come see this. It's going to be amazing. Well, what these kids do is amazing. Jim partners with Ravenna City Schools. They build all of our sets and all the designs because we don't have a set design class at Streetsboro High School. So he gives them the schematics, they build it, and they bring it over, and all the set that you see here. So that's a partnership with Ravenna High School. And just to tell, you guys saw how good they were. These kids performed last year at Carnegie Hall, and they're going to perform again this year at Carnegie Hall. That is an amazing achievement. Let's give them a round of applause. This is a secret photo that wasn't supposed to be taken. This is the students performing at Carnegie Hall. And we're supposed to have cameras. We had a bowl. So. And then, of course, The Wizard of Oz. I have to put that plug in April 28th and 29th. It could even be a third show because we're getting a lot of interest. You have got to come see this. It's going to be a kickoff of the new auditorium. If you want to help sponsor this, talk to Jim. He can do a video sponsorship from your company. But this will be a great performance. Those pictures tell what you're going to see. That's just not photoshopping. This is what you're going to see. The costumes, the makeup, the set, the design, obviously the performances are second to none. They're world class. And this was one that they did previously, Welcome to Wonderland. It'll be a real treat if you come. Sticking with the arts, we have an outstanding band program, a varsity band program. Our students have performed several times at the Ohio State University Skull Sessions. They performed at Disney World last year. They're a great program. They have strong programs for grades 5 through 12. Our vocal music department has our second-year teacher in that position. She's really got some great ideas. She's trying to build that program. Our visual arts are second to none, and thank you to the local organization, PASS. They sponsor an annual art show, the Streetsboro 11 Art Show. I would encourage you to attend that. It's amazing. I would be remiss if I didn't include in academics athletics, because I think they go hand in hand. A lot of our kids are great athletes and great students in the classroom. So just to highlight some of our points about the athletic program, we did receive one of the first of 4 schools in the state of Ohio to receive the Award of Excellence from the Ohio High School Athletic Association. That was quite an achievement. We had an audit. We requested an audit of our athletic programs, and we received an excellent on our audit. Our girls soccer team this year had several all-PT athletes. They went 7-7, which is a nice mark for them. Our boys soccer team, I think we have a couple here today, for the first time in Streetsboro history, won 6 games. They went 6-9. It was incredible. It was a great season. Hats off to the boys. They've struggled in the past, and they just did a great job this year. Guys, congratulations. That's what it is. They're young, so I believe they're going to dominate the PTC next year. That's great. Our cross country, we had we don't put rankings on our cross country, but Jake actually went to the state this year and competed at state. Our football had several first and second team PTC athletes. They ended with a 5-5 record. Our golf team, although they went 0-21, it was a small group of guys, but they did a great job, and we had a first team all PTC and honorable mentions. Our volleyball team actually won the PTC this year with a record of 15-4. Congratulations to our girls volleyball. Our boys basketball this year, they knocked on the door of a PTC championship. They did a great job. Braden's here. Braden, I think, was the athlete of the week. This guy's got it all. Our girls basketball team, they actually knocked on the door of a PTC championship, and they did that with essentially 6 girls. They had that were starters. They had a young bench. Those girls were showing a lot of promise, but we played about 6 kids this year, and they knocked on the door of a PTC championship. Wow. So congratulations to them. Our wrestling team finished this year with a 14-8 record. We sent 6 kids to regionals, and the best part is 2 of our kids are going to state this Saturday, so wish them luck. If you want to follow me, just follow me on Twitter. I do a lot of athletic updates. I do a lot of facility updates on Twitter, and then some other things. So follow me on Twitter. And finally, the best part, or not the best part, but the part that just emphasizes everything, are our facilities. 5 minutes?
If they don't mind going over.
5 minutes?
You guys all
5
good?
minutes?
If you need to leave, please feel free.
Just a really quick update.
Some people need to, okay, I'm out of here.
In 2013, we passed a bond issue that was going to rebuild our new elementary, build a new high school, take our current high school, demolish part of it to build a new middle school, take our current middle school, and turn it into an athletic complex, some more office work, and also to build a new stadium and an 800-seat auditorium. We are about more than halfway through with that project. You can see the price tags there. Skip that part. We did open our new high school on January 2nd. We opened our new and renovated elementary on January 2nd. Both of those were on time and on budget, which is amazing. We were blessed with about a year and a half of great weather to build these facilities, so we're on time. And our stadium project is more than half complete. This is what our high school looked like when it was under construction. This was the site plan. This is right on Route 14. This is what it looked like back when we broke ground in July of 2015, which was about 6 months later, so you can see how quickly that building went up. It was because of the weather. And this is what it looks like today. If you haven't driven by that facility, you need to drive by. Students. Is it beautiful?
Beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous.
They went from...
Nice bathrooms. First thing I walked into when I walked into that school.
Warm water in the sinks. I'm so thankful.
Here's our groundbreaking ceremony. It was a very cold, rainy day, but we had over 1,000 people go through our groundbreaking ceremony. We had a partnership with Maplewood JVS. We gave them the challenge of taking our current rocket logo and designing an artistic rendering. The kids came up with this logo. They actually designed and manufactured and fabricated that logo. It hangs outside the entrance, and then we had to have a sign company to do the large one on the side of the gym. It's gorgeous. This was a rendering of our auditorium. This is a picture of our auditorium. This is what our new auditorium looks like. This is what these kids get to perform in. This is our brand new gymnasium that holds about 200 more than our previous gymnasium. It's gorgeous. We have a large open media center, kind of a Barnes & Noble concept where kids can sit and relax in furniture. This is our band and choir area. This is our large main office. The main office before was about the size of 3 tables. Now it's a large main office area with a nice clinic, clinic right off the main office. This is our STEM lab. The top picture is the CAD room where they do all their design. The bottom part is where they fabricate. And there's actually 2 stories with a wall that comes down, so you have a dirty room where we can cut and a clean room where we can manufacture and put things together. All of our buildings have extended learning areas where kids can go out into the hallways and learn during class time. So kids can spill out and do small group work out. So we utilize all the space. And we emphasize large open spaces with lots of light. These are typical classrooms. Notice the furniture. Our teachers were very uncomfortable with this furniture. But this furniture was designed for collaboration. When we took our kids through a visioning process, the kids said, we want to be able to collaborate with each other. So this furniture, you can see very different designs from teachers. She's a more traditional flare in the upper left-hand corner, and the bottom left and the bottom right, you can see where they've joined those desks together. So this furniture can be moved for different purposes. It emphasizes collaboration. We have a radio station. We have a TV station. The TV station you see on the right I can tell you that Fox 8 News doesn't have that equipment. This is hot off the presses this summer. It is that good. It is that state of the art. We're still trying to figure out how to use it. This is our student commons, which is the spill-out area for the theater, auditorium, and the gymnasium. It's large. We have a state-of-the-art kitchen. Again, what the kids were in before Christmas and what they're in now, it's completely different. It's like it was different. It's clean. It's nice. It's open. It's light, and it'll be air conditioned too. That's nice. So this is our stadium. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is what our stadium looks like to date. We'll actually be building a 9,000 square foot field house behind the home bleachers. My kids said that they thought that looked purple. It's not. That's a black track. So just so you know, I guess the color was on. So it's a nice black track with an all-turf field. We're going to hold our first home track meet this year in 15 years. So please come out and I need to put a quick plug in. We've been selling naming rights. Sue Truby has been my right-hand man. She has made connections with a lot of our CEOs in town. And the mayor and I and Sue have gone out and visited. We have collected over $166,000 in naming rights that we're putting right back into our stadium, our athletic programs, and our band programs from that money. Right now, our current, these are some of the people that have partnered. Chris Quinn and family, who have been our top vendor to date. They actually acquired the name of the field. It's going to be called Quinn Field. And we have different Streetsboro demo press box, automated packaging, the scoreboard anchor, Franklin Dillon's, the concession stands, Kids Communications ticket booths, Delta Systems, STEM Lab, and First National Bank did a donation. But folks, if you want to be a part of this tradition, we still have lots of naming rights that are available. We take payments over time. We take one lump sum. I still think Rosca Stadium would sound great. We also have a great brick program, $100 for a paver brick, $200 for a grant piece that will go into a wall. If you're interested, go to our website or call me and I'll connect you with those forms. And then finally, Streetsboro Elementary, we took that from a grade 2-3 building to a grade pre-K 3 building. We completely gutted the inside of that. We added 3 additions and found a beautiful pre-K 3 building. Here's just some pictures of what it looks like now. This is the front of the building now. Most people don't even recognize it. And this is the main office now. This is what the second grade hallway used to look like. This is what it looks like now. This is what the hallway by the cafeteria looked like. This is what it looks like now. This was the old cafeteria. This is the new cafeteria. Complete with a movie theater style theater screen. Comes down. This was 4 classrooms that were turned into a beautiful media center. Wow. This is a typical classroom. Notice the furniture, how people grouping kids, how you can take those desks and put them into a circle. There's another teacher that did more of a traditional flair. This is one of those large extended learning areas where teachers can take groups of kids out, or multiple classes can come out and learn together. Here's our 3rd grade team working in an extended learning area. And then, of course, I won't go through this, but this is what the new middle school will look like. We're under abatement and demo right now. Construction starts in probably about a month. Demo, you'll see Wrecking Ball out there next week. And by July of 2018, this is what your new middle school will look like. So that's my State of the Schools update. I'm very excited about everything that's happening in Streetsboro. A lot of it is thanks to all of you in this room. I am open. I'll stay after for any questions, but thank you for your attention, and go Rockets.
Is your student hoping to be recruited for a college scholarship? We can show off their skills. WinoView. Call today.
seen a pretty girl look so tough, baby. You got that look. So come and get your back, come and take your back. Cruise on, I think I want you. You got the look, you got the hook. She'll be cooking in my boat. Your face is jamming, your body's acting salmon. It looks good, let's get to ramming. You got the look, you got the look. She wore a raspberry beret, behind the fire in a second-hand song. Raspberry beret, if it was warm, she wouldn't wear much more. Raspberry beret, I think I love her. My little red carpet, ooh, baby, you're much too fast.
Got to slow down.
Little red carpet, need to find love that's gonna last. Little red carpet, I think I love her. She wore a raspberry beret, behind the fire in a second-hand store. Raspberry beret, if it was warm, she wouldn't wear much more.
Oh no.
I think I love her.
Don't have to be rich to be my girl. You don't have to be cool to rule my world. Ain't no losing you the time. I'm on the better for you. Just want the extra time in your kiss.
Katie Marie Curran, somewhere over the